Hello everyone. I wanted to do a flip through of this beautiful journal that I finally completed, and I didn't really give it a name, but it is very feminine and it kind of feels a little bit French provincial inspired. And so I wanted to just show you what's inside and kind of give you a little bit of an overview as to how it's made. Now, by the time you see this video, it will be listed up in the shop and it's at pleasantcreations.com. And unfortunately, I only have one of these available, so if you are interested, then you'll want to go ahead and jump on that. And you'll be able to use the code that is also in the description below, which is YouTube fan. So keep that in mind. You can use that on anything in the shop, and everything over $30 is free shipping. So I haven't really made any travelers notebooks in quite a while, and so I wanted to do some, and this is the first one that I got finished for this year, and I wanted to go ahead and kind of show it off a little bit because I was really proud. And it is just packed with lots of goodness. So if you don't have lots of ephemera to start with, then this is definitely a great journal for you. And there's also lots of room to journal as well. Now, the cover is made with several pieces of fabric, and I sewed in the signature. This is a one signature journal, and so hence that's why it's so fat, because I just love putting this together. And the closure is made with some of my vintage lace, so I kept it really simple. There is tons of sewing in here. I put a lot of detail into this, and it measures 4¼ by 8½ inches. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, I will say on the front and the back cover, let me just take this off first. On the front and the back cover, this piece of lace down here at the bottom is a pocket. So you can actually kind of stash some notes inside of the pockets themselves. And I love this beautiful fabric here as well. And I got this fabric from a viewer, butterfly fabric. And I put this little piece on the front, which is collage, but it's actually a pocket as well. So you can actually stick something in here also. And as you can see, the closure is a loose piece of lace. Now let's go ahead and open this up because I don't want to take too long on this. But in the inside, we have a side pocket that's made of lace as well. And on the inside of the cover is even more fabric, and it's so soft and pretty, and again just feminine. I went with a pink theme, which is not something that I normally do, but I love pink. I'm just not a themey kind of a person. So here are some cards that are in the front, and I think I sewed on everything. So these are some journal cards with this wonderful tab, and I have these tabs up in the shop as well if that's something that you're interested in. And I always like to put vellum in the front of my journals. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it just adds a spot of class to the journals. And when I put this in, it was a little short, so I decided to add like a little bit of a sleeve here on the end, and I sewed it on, and I really love the textures and how it came out. And so I know whoever gets this is going to love it as well. And then I also put some fabric ruffles in here, and this is a journal card with a little vintage picture on it, and you can turn that over and journal. And I have it held on by this wonderful and beautiful, some beautiful little gems. I call them like little jewels here on the end. You can see right there, and this one also. So we have a few of those that are hanging off, because y'all know how much I love dangly stuff and things hanging off. And so let's go on. Now, I ventured into doing a little mixed media in this, and at first I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I love how everything kind of melded together. So I did some painting on the back of this cardstock and a little bit of stamping as well. And on this side is, I think this paper is like some typing paper. It's not ordinary paper, and I got it. It's a vintage piece of paper. I did do some dyeing on it, and it just came out wonderful. And y'all hear that? I love the way it sounds. And I put a little butterfly on there because I love butterflies, and I'm sure you will too. And on this paper right here, I did some painting, and this was some painting on some jelly paper. And again, I love the way it sounds, and the paint came out just absolutely marvelous. Now here on this page, I left a few pieces loose so that you can put this any place in your book. So if you wanted to glue it here, you could. If you want to go to another page, you could. So I have several pieces, several florals like this that you can just take and you can put in other places in the book. And here I have a tag. Then I made a collage tag, and again, you can actually do some journaling on the back of that as well. So let's just put him back in here, and he sticks out just a smidge, which I love. Here's some more painting that I did with some glimmer mist, and I wanted to add this vintage rickrack up here at the top. Well, I don't know if it's called rickrack, but it's a binding, it's a seam binding, and of course, y'all know I love the texture, so I'm always kind of filling up things. And so here I have another coffee dyed page, and I just did some corners here. We have a little tuck spot that I made. Everything has sewing on it. It may be hard to see, but it has sewing. There'll be plenty of pictures up in the shop. And this is a journal card, and I just wanted to put a little bit of lace on here. And I thought it was perfect for this particular journal because it had like the lipsticks, because this is such a feminine type of journal. And of course, lots of space where you can actually write. So this is definitely a writing type of journal, and if you do scripture writing, this will be a good place to put your scripture writing as well. Now here's another collaged tuck spot, and we have a journal card with some sewing on it. Everything has sewing on it. And then here I have a pocket that I made from some vintage wallpaper. So let's just take this loose so you can see. And I call it a floating pocket. On this page, I did do some sewing around the perimeter of the page. And in the inside, I made this notebook using a photo slide. And I thought this was so cute, and I used some fabric to sew it all together. And I just took some scraps of the papers that I had in here, and I just added these in. So you can use these for collaging, or you can just write on them as well. So I thought that would be cool to kind of just have some extra pieces in here to write on. So let's put this back in here. And the slide kind of just sticks out, and I thought this was really cute. So you'll probably be seeing like a Project 20 on this. And then I adhered it all with this wonderful little book jewelry that we have here, this book charm that I love dangling out. And on the back of here, I did some stenciling on the back of this cardstock. And then we have another piece of aged paper, I like to say. And on this side, I have a journal card. You can see the sewing on the back there with a vintage lady there and a stamp. And I love how this came out. This was like a happy mistake. I printed this paper out. It had something on it already, and I actually printed on the wrong side, and I still love the way it came out. So I decided to keep it in because I thought whoever gets this, they're just going to love this as well. And this was made from some of the collage digital kits that are up in the shop also. And I used a calendar page here. I did lots of sewing and put some lace on here. And then I also put a note card in this pocket. And it also has some beautiful lace on the front. So let's just stick that back in there. And I'm going to leave the front of the card out just so you know there's something in that pocket there. And you can see I used some vintage some vintage music pages as well. We have like some headline news, and all of this has just beautiful, beautiful sewing on it. And here's another piece of cardstock. Again, I zhuzhed it up with lots of sewing. And on this side, I put down some catalog pages, and I glued them together so this would be nice and sturdy, because sometimes these catalog pages are they're a little iffy because they're old and they might be a little bit brittle, but they look fantastic when they're adhered to another page. And I made like a lace pocket, and we have a fold out tag here. We made these together with some stenciled in birds on this one, so that's quite lovely. Stick that back in there. Then we have some more mixed media pages here, and I love the way these pages feel. They are so soft. Then we have another aged page here. Y'all look at all this detail. And you can actually get this paper from me over at the shop as well. And on this side, this was a piece of cardstock, and I used some vintage wrapping paper, and I adhered it to this. I put some sewing around it, and I put like this lovely trim on the side. And of course, I'm just going to keep saying it, I love the way it feels. I love, love, love the way it feels. And then we have some more lace and lots of sewing on this cardstock. And I did another painting technique in here. And, I just didn't know how well the painted pages were going to go in here, but it was just like the perfect addition to this journal. And then we have some more sewn antique, not antique, but vintage music sheets in here. And here on this side, I have another pocket that I've made. It's a floating pocket, and I have it on with another little, some more book jewelry here, as I call it. And this is wallpaper that I made the pocket out of. And then we just have a journal card, which I adhered the tab to and did lots of beautiful sewing around. So let's stick that back in here as well. If we can get it back in here without looking, because I don't have my glasses on, but let's just stick that there, and then I'll put that in later. And then here you can see on this page, this is the vintage wrapping paper. And when you fold this out, you have like this beautiful lace that's hanging on here, and it was just a perfect complement to the aged paper. Y'all look at all this beautiful definition that I got when I aged that paper. And then here is another one of the painted pages. It's just perfect with all those beautiful pinks here on the inside. And we have another tag that folds out, and it's just a nice addition as well. So I tried to make sure that all the pockets had something in them. And of course, me being me, I'll probably add a few more pieces of ephemera to this as well. And then we have a catalog page that's adhered to the cardstock here. You can see all the beautiful sewing, some lace hanging off. And then I did a little bit of Frankensteining with this headline page, so it has some nice sewing as well. And pages like this I would definitely use as a background. They're very beautiful. And here's another pocket that I put together with some ledger paper and some lace. You can see, and also on this side of the pocket is a calendar page, and in the inside we have another note page with some beautiful butterflied edging. It has lots of sewing around the perimeter as well, and it's a fold out card. And then we have another collage page here, which is in the shop, and I added a fabric tag, and it has lots of lace. This was made from book pages, and I love the way this came out. And I just put it on with a teardrop paper clip. And here we have another fold out with this lovely floral on it. And on this page, this is the back of the cardstock, and I did some stenciling on there as well, along with some sewing. And here is a little tuck spot, and again, here's another another floral piece that can float around, and you can kind of put it any place that you would like it to be. And I like doing that better than just putting it down on any page. And that way you have a choice as to where you would like to put them. And then this is a floating pocket also. So it comes out and you can move it around. You could take it out if you wanted to. And it has some journaling cards in here with some lovely sewing on it as well. Nice, nice, nice. Y'all know me. Me and the whippersnapper, we went to town on the sewing. And then we have some edging here on the H paper. And here's some more painted pages with some of this lovely trim that I had in my stash. And we have another tag here, and this is an altered playing card, and it says "Stay Curious." It's quite lovely. You can do some journaling on that. So let's stick her back in here. And I love how the tabs kind of stick out as well. So I wanted to make sure that was pink to go along with this theme. And here is another floral piece that can just kind of float around, and you can put it wherever you like. And I have it on here with a green teardrop, here a teardrop paper clip. Here's another one of the painted pages. Again, y'all hear that? I love the way the pages sound. And on this page I put some fabric as well, and this is a large fold out, but I wanted it to kind of stay pretty much clear. This is a pocket right here. It's a fabric pocket, and I'll probably stick something in here before I ship it out as well, but I just wanted to go ahead and do this flip through. And on this page I did some stamping, and on this beautifully color painted background. And then we have another fold out here. I wanted to make the tags kind of extra special. And on this side we have a journaling card with lots of sewing around it, as you can see, and a little tuck spot up here at the top. And then here is the vellum in the back, and again I kind of extended it out so it could cover everything quite nicely, and it really added that really nice touch to this journal. And in this back pocket here, yeah, I love the way these pockets came out as well with the, now this is some rickrack. It's just quite lovely. And then I have a journal card here that was made from an inventory tag, and I have the inventory tags as well in the shop. And I put this lace down here, and I just love how the lace kind of it just flops and lays all over the place, but you still have the opportunity to do like your journaling on this. So that was kind of like the perfect complement and end to this journal as well. So again, even as I'm doing this, you can find this journal up in the shop over at Pleasant Creation. The links will be down below in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I'd love to know what you think. You can leave a comment on this, and you can get all your supplies, and there's even more journals over there. And don't forget, there is a discount code below, YouTube fan. So if you use that, you'll get a discount on anything within the shop. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet Lotus Blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.